You're spending tens of thousands of dollars a month on marketing. How much of it is working undeniably, and how much is being flushed down the drain and wasted? Well, you're about to find out in this video, because I'm going to be teaching you the same exercise that I used to help 2 of our members in RSRA save over $100,000 a year. In fact, one of them was $121,000 a year by slashing wasted spend that they didn't otherwise see. Now, this is more important than ever before because marketing costs are going up. We're seeing it in pay-per-click, LSA, and Meta. This is because private equity is coming in and trying to drown out the little guy. I didn't make this up. I've heard it from the CEOs of private equity groups I've talked to personally. In fact, their feedback is one of the elements that went into my brand new 2025 to 2028 roofing market report. You can get your free copy right now by clicking the link in the description or going to roofmarketreport.com. You will see that marketing costs will continue to go up because private equity can have a capital call, meaning they have virtual endless budgets if they can prove that they can turn $1,600 into $20,000. And they say, I can do this, line, rinse, and repeat. Can I have some more money? Now, independently owned companies don't have that level of essentially infinite funding on demand, like a tap you can just open. So what they're doing, and I heard this directly from the mouth of a private equity CEO saying, listen, I'm just going to drown out the little guy. I can throw more money in it and bring up costs, which means if you're used to spending, you know what, let's sketch it out. I'm going to show you. Let's show you in a real world example. Let's say, and this is true numbers, by the way, this first example is actual numbers from someone I just talked to last week. They're spending $40,000 per month on ads. They're in a very competitive market, and that gets them 100 leads per month. Okay. Now, some of you might be freaking out. Holy smokes, it's a $400 per lead. Yes, it is. Now let's make an assumption that 85% of those turn into an appointment. That's an 85% set rate. There's always some garbage leads in there that aren't qualified. They're not in your service area. Maybe they're calling about other things that you don't do. We all know that there's no such thing as 100% of leads are qualified. So let's just say 85 turn into appointments. Okay. Of those 85, let's say that we're closing at 30%, and I'm going to round down. We have 25, come on, pen, 25 sales. Now, if those 25 sales, and I'm just going to use simple math at, what do we do there? 25 sales at $20,000 a piece, that will bring me to $500,000 in revenue, okay? $500,000 in sales for the month, okay? That's a pretty nice number. Now, what we need to figure out is our customer acquisition cost, meaning how much do we have to spend to get a customer? So I can take that $40,000 and divide it by the 25 customers we have, and we are at $1,600, okay? Now, that $1,600 means, again, as the example I gave you before, every $1,600 gets turned into $20,000. For a private equity group, this is a really big win. But what's happening now is these costs go up, which means the same $40,000, that's today. In the future, if we see costs go up even a little bit, let's say that the lead amount changes, and you're going to watch how this math shakes out. So we're spending the same $40,000 per month on ads. But instead of getting 100 leads, we're going to get 80 leads. Why? Because marketing costs have increased a lot. Now, of those 80, we're going to assume only 85% were qualified to book an appointment. So that's 68 appointments. That's our set rate, okay? Of those 68 appointments, we have the same 30% close rate. We have 20 sales, which now means instead of making $500,000 a month, we are at $400K in sales for the month. Now, that $100,000, in sales, that difference is actually costing you $1.2 million per year that you are now missing out on. Okay, this is a big, big loss. The other thing that this means, if we're looking at the actual math, is our $40,000 divided by 20 sales means your customer acquisition cost is now $2,000. That is significant. We went from $1,600 to $2,000, so our costs go up. But it also means that our sales go down. This is a bad relationship to see. So what we need to do is figure out where are we wasting money so we can push the right dollars in that are actually making sense. Now, let's let the rubber meet the road, and I'm going to walk you through it. This is literally the exact exercise I walked our 2 members through. It was actually during a 2-day members only workshop I was hosting on marketing. And what we did, and I got it queued up, I'm going to share it with you in a second, is I want you to list every single place you're spending money, down to like the advertising on the kiddie ball field or TV ads, radio ads, whether you're spending money on billboards. There's a couple other odd ones I've seen too, like sponsoring weather apps. Everywhere you're spending money with the hopes of getting leads, we're going to run through this filter. Here's the filter. You ready for it? It is this. We are going to run down this list. Number 1, is it trackable? If the answer is yes, double down. If the answer is no, then we need to say, is it fixable? Can I start tracking it? But there are certain things that you will not be able to track. I'm telling you that now. Billboards are hard to track. There is a sneaky way to track it, which basically means if your acquisition costs go down because more people are searching for you organically, that we could potentially track, but there's no like direct attribution. What I want to know is if I put in $10,000 or $20,000 into Google pay-per-click, I know what I get out. That's tracked. So that's the first item on the list. Second, does it generate quality leads? Now, this may seem like common sense, but it is amazing to me how many people will continually spend money on these third-party aggregators and only 1 in 20 leads is quality. So they're choking their team down with these opportunities to chase these 9 out of 10 not quality leads is a big problem. So we go back to the list. Is it fixable? Again, sometimes you can fix things if it's not quality leads by asking questions like, how can I better qualify people? Is it my form or my messaging? As an example, I often see people running ads saying like low monthly payments, roof starting at just $79 a month. You will get people who can't afford roofing, and you'll often get lower quality leads when you lead with low prices. So that's what I mean by fixing it. All right. Number 3 on the list, are customer acquisition costs acceptable? This is a dangerous thought process when people are like, oh, well, if I just get 1 or 2 deals out of it, I'll break even. Break even is losing. You just saw how I ran the math. Total spend divided by number of customers is your customer acquisition cost. That's the way I calculate it. Other people will include all their overhead, but I'm looking here, how is my marketing working? And I want to isolate my marketing. So if I have a consistent $1,600 predictable acquisition cost and your $20,000 roof yields you a net profit that's comfortable, then yes. But if not, then again, can I fix it? If yes, then fix it. If not, cut it. And then the final question here, is it consistent and predictable? Is it consistent and predictable? Because there are many methods that are not consistent or predictable. They might be part of, I'll give you an example, of a networking group or B&I type group. Those are not consistent, they're not predictable. There's a few people, by the way, that are doing really well on those. Majority of people I speak with aren't. So if you put $1,000 into Facebook, is it predictable and consistent? If the answer is no, cut it. If it's yes, double down. And by asking yourself these 4 questions and going through it, if the answer is yes, double down. If the answer is no, cut it. Within 5 minutes, and you do this for each and every lead source, you could find up to $100,000, maybe even more to cut. In fact, I had another member of ours that was spending $600,000 a year on ads and found out that he wasn't converting them because the majority were coming in after hours or on Saturdays when no one was answering the phone. So that fell into the fixable category. And through fixing it, he was able to get more leads without spending more money. This, my friend, is the secret sauce, because now you can take that extra 100 grand, voila, you got a free budget to dump into everything that's working to pour fuel on the fire. And now you might be wanting to know, well, where should I put it? So jump into this very next video because I break down the 18 different lead sources and the pros and cons of each. Enjoy.